faith in the holy name. I derive strength from three sources. So I'm just going to put it out. And the first source is Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah. Um, Srimad Bhagavatam, I think most of you are aware, this is the master literature compiled by Srila Vyasadeva after compiling all the Vedic literatures. And I'm going to read a verse. Even in the verse itself, he tells this is his masterpiece. Actually, Srimad Bhagavatam contains 18,000 verses, and out of those 18,000 verses, mostly he only speaks directly for three verses, only first three verses. Out of the first three verses, the second verse he says, Dharma projita kaitavotra paramo nirmasaranam satam Vedyam Vastavam Atra Vastu Shivadam Tapatrayon Moolanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krute Kim Va Parerishwaraha Sadyo Hridi Avrudyate Atra Prithibhi Shushushivi Tatshanat. So it's very interesting. This is the second verse. He was writing out of the masterpiece of 18,000 verses. He says, Dharma Projita, throw away the Dharma. Because I find it interesting. Nobody can ever dare to say that. Of course, Krishna does that in the Bhagavad Gita. He says, Traigunya Vishya Veda Nistraigunya Bhavarjan. He says, give up this Dharma, which only deals with three modes, and rise above it like that. So Srimad Bhagavatam also similarly goes right in the second verse, says, throw away the Dharma. And it says, Dharma Projita Kaitavotra Paramo Nirmasaranam Satam. And Bhagavatam is telling that I'm going to present something that is, that throws away the Dharma, that is also relishable for all the Nirmasara people who are very pure, very honest and pure. And Bhagavatam further says, Vedyam Vastavam Atra Vastu Sivadam. I'm going to present Vastavam, the reality as it is. Vedyam Vastavam Atra Vastu Sivadam. Through that, we're going to get a lot of auspiciousness, Shivadam. And the byproduct of auspiciousness is also it takes away the threefold miseries, Tapatraya and Moolanam. Like Shamsundar Prabhu was telling, we get the miseries from three sources. So Bhagavatam tells I'm going to take that away. And the third line it says, Srimad Bhagavatam Mahamuni Krute. It's interesting again here. It is written by Vyasadeva, and he himself is writing it here, Srimad Bhagavatam Mahamuni Krute. And then it continues, Kim Va Parerishwara. What else do you want if you want to captivate Krishna? Sadyo Hridi Avrudyate Atra Krutivi Shushubit Tatshanat. So we're all trying to chant the holy name, and this verse is establishing, by reading Bhagavatam, you just get attracted. Your mind and heart just goes to the holy name. Not that one. Actually, Krishna comes and sit with you. So I will read the translation by Srila Prabhupada. Completely rejecting all religious activities which are materially motivated, this Bhagavad Purana propounds the highest truth, which is understandable by those devotees who are fully pure in heart. The highest truth is reality distinguished from illusion for the welfare of all. Such truth approves the threefold miseries. This beautiful Bhagavatam, compiled by the great sage Vyasadeva in his maturity, is sufficient in itself for God realization. What is the need of any other scripture? As soon as one attentively and submissively hears the message of the Bhagavatam, by this culture of knowledge, the Supreme Lord is established within his heart. So this is the easiest one. I was also hearing from a devotee called Gaurang Darshan Prabhu. He was explaining the meaning of Damodarastakam, and he was explaining how Krishna was bound by mother's love, and Krishna, how Krishna was showing that only by bhakti he can be captured. He was quoting this verse. You just pick up the Bhagavatam, you pay attention, that's it. Krishna gets caught. That's the one. And the number two is second source of inspiration for the faith in the holy name is Guru, spiritual master. Yesterday only Rompal Maharaj showing the image where a devotee is sitting and chanting, and then there is the symbol of hand reaching out, and there's a picture of Srila Prabhupada, and then Krishna also reaching out to his extending his hand. So the second source of inspiration is we need, even this morning also Maharaj was explaining, spiritual master's job is to keep giving the spiritual knowledge, tirelessly and endlessly, like that. So through their access only, we can get access to Krishna in a substantial way. And when we say Guru, we have Foundracharya, Srila Prabhupada always remains the Guru, and then we have Diksha Guru, and then immediately training us, the devotees helping us, and so on. So all of these people will play a great role in connecting to Krishna and experiencing, the attraction and devotion to Him. That's my second source. And the third source is something called empathic communication. It is derived from empathic communication. This was a book written by one of Srila Prabhupada's disciples called Bir Krishna Goswami. So in that empathic communication, in that book, Realizing Your Empathic Nature, that's the book name of the book. In that, he brings out the needs hierarchy. Actually, in the corporate world, it's very famous. It's called the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. That's how corporate people tie their employees to the companies by, addicting the people with those, satisfying the needs, that was listed by Maslow. So what Maslow lists five levels of five you know five levels of needs. He starts with the basic needs. Basic needs are, in our language, basically the body level needs, water, food, rest, and so on. What it means is that, you don't sleep nicely, you don't eat nicely, we don't eat, take water, or, we don't have a proper movement and so on, and we try to chant, it's not going to be easy. So we just, if you're feeling hungry, just, eat, properly, and then, just try to chant. That's the help I take from the, hierarchy of needs. And the second level needs, he lists it at a mental level needs. And the third level is intellectual needs, and then egoistic, so on. Maslow stops at 5 levels totally, but Bir Krishna Maharaj adds 3 more levels, which is like, celebrations and losses, and the final one is Krishna need. So in this hierarchy of needs listed by Bir Krishna Maharaj, it goes 8 steps. And the first is at the basic, body needs, water, food, and so on. And then the mental, the recreational needs, and then social community, friendship, relationships, that one. And then finally, the final one is Krishna need. So the first one and the last one are really helpful in my practicing of chanting the holy name or Krishna consciousness. So, at a basic level, I make sure that, I have proper rest, did I have the, did I finish my breakfast and all those things. And then as soon as I get some energy, let's go for the final need, that's Krishna need. Basically, it's the need of the soul. It's the needs. Without feeling the needs, we cannot drag the body so long or the vehicle so long. So, like that, so go to the basic needs, go to as soon the basic needs are taken care, go to the Krishna, chant nicely. Shamsundar Prabhu was also telling, holy name is so sweet and so powerful. We also should chant enthusiastically. So this needs hierarchy helps a lot. So these are the three sources. One is the Srimad Bhagavatam, and the other one is Sri Guru, you know, and then you know just taking care of the bodily needs and so on. That's it. Hare Krishna. Passing on to Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So, first of all, I want to express that I'm utterly unqualified to sit here among everyone, exalted souls here, and all of you. Um, I'm just here to share a few things which have helped me, but I'm open to listen from all of you to help me improve my chanting. That's the reason I'm here for. Basically, I'm not here to tell how to improve chanting, but I want to improve my chanting, and I was just asked to sit here and talk. Um, I have been chanting for, I would say, almost 24, 25 years. Um, but the most significant thing which made impact in my chanting is the last Japa retreat that I attended with His Holiness Rumpa Swami Maharaj and Shamsundar Prabhu. I'm really very grateful to them, both of them and all the devotees. That after attending that Japa retreat, I cannot say that my chanting is now pure, but I can say that I have felt a significant difference in the chanting, and that's what I wanted to share some of those realizations, what I learned from that, and how I try to apply it. And other thing that I um, that I read, which also helped me, is the book by His Holiness Sachinandan Swami Maharaj, The Living Name. The Living Name. So these two things have helped me a lot, and essentially, what I would like to suggest is, as Maharaj told last Japa retreat, that the key to effective chanting is sankalpa. Having sankalpa is the most important thing that I have noted in the last uh, like the difference that I'm seeing in my chanting is because of that one single thing, that having a sankalpa, why you are chanting and what is your goal from chanting. Now sankalpa has two aspects. One is your determination, other is intention. Your determination and intention, right? So when your intention is strong, the attention is automatically there. It's very important. So having these two things, this having a strong sankalpa, the strong determination, and your intention is very, very important in attentive chanting. So it is said that if you have sankalpa, and when you clearly identify sankalpa and dedicate it to your worshipable deity, and the deity will personally take and reside in that sankalpa. The sankalpa becomes non-different from the deity. And then when with that sankalpa, when you chant, the deity will, Krishna, the Lordship Sri Radha Krishna will bestow you with their blessings when you have that kind of strong sankalpa. It's very important. The second thing I wanted to share is that we always hear that holy name is a person, holy name is a person. We need to have that strong conviction when you are actually chanting. Sit with a conviction that you are trying to attend to a person, form and a person. Maharaj just told yesterday that sound has a form, right? Sound has a form. It's not only just a form, but the holy name is actually a person with a form. And many times we don't, we know this, but we don't realize it, right? If that is the case, that is the case with me, I have heard it many times, but I don't realize it. But then I make it as part of, you know we make sure that we make it as part of your sankalpa to understand, realize that holy name has a form, and he is a person. So if you are dealing it as a person, things change completely. 180 degrees, they do change. It's very important. And third thing is chanting, like being present while chanting. Being present while chanting is very important. So that has, and I realize that, I find it helpful to, break this down into three parts. What is the meaning of being present in chanting? So I try to always check, am I chanting on bodily level? Like, is my body chanting? Is my mind chanting? Is my soul chanting? And all these three things are important. When you're chanting, your body needs to chant, your mind needs to chant, and your soul needs to chant. So what does it mean? Like, how do we check? Is your body chanting? Of course, when you're chanting, you are uttering the sound vibration, right? So what are other things included in, you're involving your body in chanting? Making sure that we are hearing the sound vibration, the pronunciation is correct. Paying attention to the pronunciation, making sure that chanting each and every syllable. And also another thing is, when you're chanting on the beats, paying attention that you're chanting the entire Mahamantra on each beat. Like every beat that you're chanting, just make sure that you're chanting the whole Mahamantra on that beat, not just jumping on the other beat without finishing the mantra. So very important. The chanting at the level of body. What other things that we can do while engaging our body in chanting? Chanting, like giving it right time for chanting, right? Chanting during morning hours, Brahma Muhurta, just like you're engaging, you're involving your body, in chanting. That's one thing. So proper time, proper place for chanting. So, sitting in particular area, maybe in front of altar, do that. And then the third thing is cleanliness, making sure that your body is clean when you're chanting. So those are the things that we can do at the level body while we are chanting. But sometimes we may be in a situation where we are not able to do that, right? Maybe you are very sick, and you cannot, maybe for example, take a shower, take a bath or something, like you need to chant. So at least, we can, whenever we are externally not able to do the things, we need to be, meditating on those things. That yes, I actually, because of external circumstances, I'm not able to do such a thing. Maybe take a shower, for example, because of some social circumstances. But you can actually meditate that you have actually taken a shower. Not only that, you can also meditate that you have gone to the holy places and taken, a bath there, before sitting and chanting. You can do that. Also, if you're not in a proper place, again, same example, if you're traveling, if you're in a plane, what do? You meditate that you are actually sitting in the place of your preference, where you actually chant and do the chanting. So that's very important. So, there's a meditation when you're externally not able to do the things, meditate on those things that, you're actually able to do it. Then the second thing is checking, is your mind chanting? Your body, you did all of those things, to check if your body is chanting, your mind is chanting. How do you check? So when you're chanting, your mind is meditating. It's not just an external, process. Your mind is actually meditating on each and every syllable. You're feeling that vibration, each and every syllable's vibration in the body, in your mind, right? And then other thing is, when, like, realize that, when you're meditating on the holy name, meditate that the holy name actually is, as a person, is actually entering in your ears. So that's the chanting and meditating on the level of chanting on the level of mind. What else you can meditate on? How do you chant at the level of mind? We When you are chanting, you realize that this holy name is actually chanted by the great personalities. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself chanted this. Haridas Thakur has himself chanted this. All Shed Goswamis have chanted this mantra. This mantra has the potency. So when you are meditating that way on the Maha Mantra, it brings, like, you're actually engaging your mind in chanting, right? So those are some of the things that that we can do at the level of mind when we are chanting. Now, the last thing is chanting at the level of soul. Is your soul chanting, right? So when we meditate that, meditate on the holy names, that when we are chanting, we are meditating that the holy name is a person and he's entering. His holy name is not just by himself, holy name is always accompanied by their lordship Shri Radha and Krishna, right? Holy name is not different from Krishna. So in one sense, holy name is a person, but at the same time, holy name is Radha and Krishna personified. So when you are chanting, you are meditating that holy name is entering, when holy name is inviting Radha and Krishna in your heart. And when Radha and Krishna come in your heart, the soul comes in place. You are actually, at the level of soul, you just meditate that, you are engaging with Radha and Krishna. Meditate on the deity of, the holy name, deity of the holy name, Radha and Krishna. And just, try to serve, just sit in front, like your soul is sitting in front of the deity of Radha and Krishna, the Lord Sri Radha Madhavari, and chanting. And actually beg for that service, just like Prabhupada says, your chanting should be your like a child crying for mother. So that is the chanting at the level of soul. So if you do these things, I think our chanting can be uh, really attentive. And I'm saying these things, but I don't think I'm anywhere close to it, and that's why I seek everyone's blessing. That you if you all pray for me, maybe I will be able to do these things consistently. Maybe I may do on certain occasions, and other occasions I don't do it. So I am seeking all of your blessing that I may be able to do it more consistently. And you may say that, like, how can you do all of these things at one time? So like not different from, when you are driving a car, you're taking care of so many things, right? You have to pay attention on the road, you have to have the steering in the hand, the gas pedal, and the next, and brake and the gear and so many things. But you do those things in harmonious, coordinated way, and your driving is smooth. Same example is, a person cooking. So many things you have to pay attention to, but then the ultimate result is the nice, offering for the Lord. So similarly, chanting is also same thing. It seems like, there is a lot of things involved, chanting at the level of body, mind, soul, but this is all, part of the same thing, and ultimately this will be a nice offering for the Lord. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So that is such a nice sharing, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Very inspiring. So I just want to share that again. I'm on the same spot. I mean, really honestly, I don't even know why I'm on the panel because just because of the request, I'm here. But again, I'm really seeking your blessings too, so I can also develop purity and also stronger relationship with the holy name. So I was thinking of doing this a little bit differently. Like I was just going to share my own experience, or my story with the holy name, what the different things that has happened probably, and just go with that, I guess, and then I can just say, like, what is it something that I am doing in my personal life, kind of, with the holy name, how I'm setting things. So it really, when I came here in first time in 2011, I still remember that was my first introduction to Maha Mantra, because, up until then, it's like you go to the temples in India, you do so many things, but I don't think there was ever an emphasis on this holy name in the they're just regular temples and all that. I don't remember that. But here is when I heard the holy name for the first time, the before introduction. And then after that, actually, it was in December when I had to go back to India for my father was sick and he was passing at that time. I still remember that. So when he was passing, my heart was like, so I was offering water and I was thinking, what am I supposed to do at this time, right? Because I have seen my dad recite a lot of prayers and things when, anything else, like anybody else had passed. But at that moment, I was thinking, what am I supposed to do now? Because I don't know anything. And then I was like, okay, I know this Maha Mantra, what I heard at ISKCON temple. Maybe I should just chant that. No idea in the depth of the holy name or anything, but that's all I know. And I kept chanting the Maha Mantra. And so now when I look back, I'm like, can you imagine like how fortunate that was for my dad to offer and chant the Maha Mantra while he was passing. So I just feel that this holy name, although I have not done anything, but the holy name has just been giving me so much mercy all along. Then when I came back again, the journey continued. And then I still remember my first service here at the temple. Brand new again, okay? No idea what's what or anything. But Premadhatri Mataji said, okay, you know what? There is one service I would like you to do. Every Wednesday after Gaura Arati, can you start chanting one round in the evening? After Gaura Arati, just sit here and chant one round and devotees will join you like that, right? So I was like, new, yeah, definitely. I'm going to take up this service, right? Every Wednesday, I would come here and chant one round. And then whoever is here, they'll just sit and join with me and chant with the round. So I was just thinking again, not knowing anything, not knowing the glories of the holy name, not knowing anything, just because, okay, Mataji said to do it, okay, I'm just going to do it, but I'm still again thinking now when I look back, what important service that was. And then after that, my first introduction to Japa retreat was actually during my own initiation. I went to Chicago. That was 2015. So I went to Chicago, holy name retreat. Of course, Guru Maharaj gives me the name Namapriya. I'm like, Namapriya, really? And Maharaj gives me the full meaning. One who really loves the holy name and for whom the holy name is very dear, and one who is dear to the holy name. I'm like, really? Guru Maharaj, this is heavy name you're giving me, because again, like I have nowhere so far from the holy name, but Maharaj gives me that name. Again, I'm like, okay, maybe there is something. So then it just continues. But what I'm saying is, so all along, even in my journey, I'm thinking, right, where I started, how I would chant and how I would do things compared to that, and how I've come along, just overall, like Shamasundar Prabhu was saying, right? When you have the relationship with the holy name, it just kind of appears in all other things, So I'm just very thankful for Guru Maharaj's mercy, definitely, right? And I'm also thinking, today I was just thinking, so what is it really that the holy name? We are always asking, right? I'm always asking, holy name, Naam Prabhu, how come I'm not able to develop that strong relation with you? I keep asking, where are you, Nama Prabhu? Maharaj keeps saying you are a person, where are you? But I'm also thinking that how much time do I really pause and reflect on all the mercy that he has given me so far in my life, where I started, no meaning, no whatsoever, nothing. And then Krishna has been so merciful, like all this time, given me so much of service, given me the close association with the deities, given me so much association with you all devotees, all this relationship that I've built and developed here. Believe me, I was an introvert before. Would not talk to anyone, wasn't even comfortable talking to people or anything like that. But after coming here, after developing this Krishna consciousness and chanting in the holy names, my life has completely changed. So I'm just saying, like, even if we think that, again, namabhas, not even namabhas, I think, even offensive chanting, but I'm just saying that chanting at whatever level, even if that, but don't give up chanting, like, because the chanting is so powerful, the holy name is so powerful, because that's what I'm thinking. Guru Maharaj's mercy, and with the chanting of the holy names, like how much mercy I have received in my life. Even now, like even this connection with the scriptures, the inspiring devotees that have come into my life, everybody that has come, everything has just been so inspiring. So I'm just thinking that what have I done in my life to get to really have that faith is that I feel that I just took Guru Maharaj's instructions, because he has a lot of emphasis on the holy name. He does every year, he does main Japa retreat in Chicago, but then he goes everywhere and he does the Japa retreat. So I know that for him, that is like one of the top priority, and he has expressed very clearly in his classes that this is like the top priority. So I think I just took that message. I know that it is very important. And then I basically, in my personal life, I have just set that as a very top priority for me. So I do multiple things, too many things in my life actually for job and things like that, which probably I should cut back. But anyways, I'm just doing a lot of things. But what I do is really set the holy name as my top priority. So like I make sure that, again, with holy name's mercy, okay, but then I'm able to like complete my full rounds, 16 rounds before even I leave the house. So that's just something I've just set for myself. I feel like that I have to give like big rocks and the small rocks and the sand in the jar, right? How you put the big rocks first. So I really give top priority the holy name. So anytime if I know that, like this week, right, I had an activation, a project activation. So I had to be there at Gilbert at 7 a.m. in the morning. So then I wake up at 3 in the morning, because then I have to make sure I'm able to complete everything before I leave my house. I don't want to keep this like extra rounds pending for the evening or afternoon and all that. So that's just one thing I feel that I have done, that I have really set high priority for the holy name. But other than that, as I said, it's really been all everybody's mercy. Somehow, it's just been going along. And also, as I said, please continue to pray for me just so I can really develop that relationship with the holy name. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
मां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते रोमपादस्वामिनिति नामिने नमां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. The topic is about strengthening the faith in the holy name. So personally, I was requested that we just share our personal sources which nourish our faith in the holy name or in chanting. For me, this gave an opportunity to reflect and see what are the sources for the strength. So one is definitely association or connection with the current spiritual master and the previous spiritual masters in our lineage. Because we hear multiple times, multiple places in scriptures, there is this power of spiritual master, or power of the relationship with spiritual master is reinforced again and again and again in multiple ways. The very famous verse that we know, Brahmanda Brahmite Kono Bhagyavan Jeev, right? Guru Krishna Prashadivaya. So it's Bhakti Lata Bija, or the dormant love for the holy name, the dormant love for Krishna awakens by connection with spiritual master and gets watered and nourished by the same relationship time and again. Because life in general is, we all have experienced, it's never a straight line. It's such a like snake's movement or something. It's like the moment we feel okay, I'm kind of okay, then something else. So through these twists and turns and ups and downs, one thing that I felt, or I want to revisit and feel again, is the nourishment that we get from our spiritual masters. talking in plural because including our acharyas. If you just see this one particular principle, one particular source, everywhere it is, like, the bhajan, there are many bhajans. One of them is Ohe Vaishnava Thakur. In that, there is a paragraph where Bhaktivinoda Thakur is really putting out what we actually want to sing is Ekaki Amar Nahi Paya Bala Harinama Sankirtane. Ekaki Amar, by myself, Nahi Paya Bala. I don't have strength to actually chant Harinama Sankirtane. I don't have. So I forget the next lines, but then he says that you being, Tumi Kripa Kori, you please give me, Shraddha Bindu Daya. Give me a little bit of faith. Shraddha Bindu. It's like a drop. One drop of the faith that the spiritual master gives is sufficient to actually drown us in the nectar of holy name. One drop is enough. Like Vaisheshika Prabhu says, every day we should make sure that we develop a mustard seed of faith. So that's something that comes to my thoughts now. So that's source number one, association of spiritual master and the acharyas. When we say acharyas, I mean, where is this much support? Anywhere in the world, let us even think of our biological families. Do we really have so much support to cross this, ocean of material existence? It's impossible. One conditioned soul cannot support another conditioned soul unlimitedly. Yeah, we can take support. We definitely want to. But then it's not to pull us out, to pull somebody out. Bhagavad Gita 7th chapter, there is an analogy. Only one who is unbound can unbind another person, right? So when we see our great acharyas, this morning we heard about Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Now we are going to hear about Bhakti Vinoda Thakur this evening. And then tomorrow or maybe the last class is about Sanatan Goswami. We hear repeatedly these personalities are extraordinarily powerful. They're extraordinarily merciful. They want to be with us, actually. If we allow them, they want to be with us. That's their potency. Because the Rupa Goswami's pranam, even just visiting pranam mantras of these acharyas will give us a lot of faith. When you think about pranam mantra of Rupa Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam, how somebody can know the heart's desire of another person? I mean, you may tell me and then I may understand. I may only understand. I may not live that, right? But then Sri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam, Rupa Goswami lives by the Mano Bhishtam of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is to every town and village. Everybody should become, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Hey, everybody should chant, right? Anyway, these glorification of our acharyas can go forever, but this is just a glimpse. But if we can just even connect with all the pranam mantras, that will give us a lot of clarity on who we belong to. Actually, we belong to a best of the best lineage. We can never ask for anything more. That's how I want to pray that this becomes alive in me and all of us here constantly. So association of the spiritual masters, that's number one. Number two is Shastra. For sure, Shastra, Srimad Bhagavatam and all the main Bhakti Shastri books that we have. The Nectar of Instruction, Nectar of Devotion, Ishopanishad and Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, of course. Because when we study the words of those who lived by Shastra, that also gives faith. If we don't know who's the holy name, if we don't know, we won't know how much we want to connect. If I don't know who Namapriya Mataji is, I may connect with her at some level. But if I really know, my goodness, see her life, her history of connection with holy name, or Sri Govinda Prabhu, Vamsidhari Prabhu, when they share their experience with holy name, we feel like, okay, wow, now the connection is at a different level if we know a little bit more about them. So similarly, knowing more about holy name from Shastra, knowing more about holy name from those who have lived by it, that gives a great faith, or that actually nourishes little by little by little. There is investment of faith that we can actually withdraw when we are in depletion too. So that is the second. So association of spiritual masters and Shastra. And the third is um, hearing the name actually feeds the strength itself. When we associate with Vaisheshika Prabhu, we hear something. Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita sells by its own merit. You don't have to really promote. You just have to show the book. You have to give the book on the person's hand. Then they pick up from there, right? So similarly, hearing while chanting, hearing the holy name feeds the strength, feeds this faith that we need to chant another mantra, next mantra, next mantra. So this particular one is very deep because I read this in Japa book Introduction by Burijan Prabhu. He has a book called Japa. His grace, his holiness, we can say anything. Actually, Burijan Prabhu, he has a book called Japa. That's all called. And in that introduction, he says, he shares his experience, which is very, we have to see the humility of such a personality. He says that he was chanting for several years. One fine day when he was chanting, he heard the mantra. He says, after so many years, he heard the mantra that day. When he heard, he was captivated. That's a different level of hearing altogether. Initially, yes, we do want to hear from our ear, but then we are also, when we attend repeatedly Japa retreats, we hear that we want to hear from our inner ear, not inner ear biologically, but our spiritual ears. We want to hear from this place, from the heart place. So when that hearing gets activated, then the faith gets nourished, because holy name himself has the power to give us faith. Vidya Vadu Jivanam. So eventually everything is in there, but we do need all the other support too. So I think for me, these three are the main: association of acharyas and current spiritual master. And then when we think about our disciplic succession, we can go on and on. That's one. And then Shastra. If we haven't enrolled in any Shastra study, we must just somehow consider enrolling, even if we are the busiest of busiest life we have. Enrolling in some form of study will really help us, because it gives a sense of belonging to the Shastra officially. We don't need it, but that will help also. But then it also gives the strength of belonging to a community of like-minded souls who want to study Shastra. And so that way we can nourish our faith in the holy name. And then third is obviously, as we've always been told, hearing the holy name while chanting. That also feeds our faith. So these are some thoughts on this topic of strengthening faith in the holy name. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Now we'll open it up for any questions for anybody if you would like to.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Shri Govinda Prabhu. So you shared about like different level of chanting and mind, especially you told like mind and soul level. Right? And you give the example of driving also. We are handling so many things, but driving, like we have some sense of fear that we'll meet some accident and it may damage us. But while chanting, it mind knows like, okay, nothing will happen. So it goes in all direction. It's very difficult to coordinate between all this. You says I tried sometimes. So how we can do that?
Just go in circles. check all the time. Is your body chanting? Is your mind chanting? Is your soul chanting? That's what I do. Just check all the time. Just go in circles, and eventually it will
Do you do it every beat through or the every round?
just
Or
go in circles. Yes, just go in the circles. Like like am I chanting each mantra? Am I hearing it? Am I doing it on each bead? And then um, when actually you meditate that yes, if you're not physically sitting, like you're actually sitting, like some, like I rarely chant while walking, um, but even if I'm doing that, I'm like try to meditate that I'm actually sitting and chanting. Thank you.
we'll come sometime at your home and we'll chant together.
Hare Krishna. I just want to share something what I have seen in my life. I started my chanting from ISKCON Bangalore with Madhu Pandit Prabhu. Even though philosophically he is blacklisted in ISKCON for certain reasons, but spiritual point of view, he is a very powerful person, and he taught some way of chanting. And now he is having something called Soulful Japa workshop, and they chant, I think, all Ekadashi 64 rounds. And he is telling what type of consciousness we should have while chanting first round, second round, third round, 16 round. Then he made a certain way of meditation. But I can tell when I joined that temple, he told me to chant with him. He told me some technique. What happened to me is that 8th round, I broke into tears. My mind splashed, and some layers I can see breaking it off. But he told me, concentrate on the source of who instructed you. So I don't know whether I meditate on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or my Guru Maharaj, but at the 8th round, what I see is that so was that my Guru Maharaj is in a very big form, is standing in front of me. And then I felt very humble and all the tensions went away. And it was an amazing experience. Maybe I cried for a few minutes. I couldn't recreate later. So now I'm just quoting some points what he is saying. One main mistake everybody doing while chanting is that thinking. Don't think, only hear. Prabhupada clearly says, hear, chant and hear. That is an important point. When you say Krishna, only hear that one. You focus on that one, then you will become never tired. If you chant, if you start thinking, then you will feel tired. This one technique. There are so many tips he is giving. It is amazing. If one can go through that one, it is available in his website. It's called Soulful Japa. It is wonderful and it will work. I have witnessed it. And after that, my mind changed forever. I got lot of opening in my mind. And I could even many times foresee things. I have seen that type of capability. See, this devotional service, I'm telling some these are very secrets and all. This will give you mystic powers. Hare Krishna mantra have the ability, but we are not doing it for mystic powers, but you will get mystic powers because you are associating with Krishna strongly. That is why this biggest example I am again quoting him, that the temple started from a hut like an asbestos shed. Now it flourished like about 64 centuries, even though this different philosophy. And he have Akshay Padra. He made amazing successful. I know the
Hare Krishna,
secret
Prabhu.
is the chanting Hare Krishna mantra.
Hare Krishna. So I wonder if we can take questions from others as well.
Yeah.
That way it will be, because we only have 5 minutes left.
Okay. So
And also, Namapriya Mataji and I will work on just giving a series of resources from where we can actually grasp this from Prabhupada's teachings and also from several acharyas, contemporary also, who have written books and published. So that's one source. We will also work on providing that. That way, you have it recorded in a WhatsApp message, and you can go back to visit. So we do want to make sure that the source that we are relying on would also be something that will carry us forward in Prabhupada's mission too. So, but yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Prabhu. If anyone has any question.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. You just said about taking the sankalpa on the anything like chanting or anything, and you told about two things like determination and intention. How to balance both? We'll have intentions, but we don't take determination to do those things. Can you share any tips on balance and the intentions to do?
Sankalpa includes both. When you do,
See, Prabhu, when we sit for chanting, we'll get so many things to do. Even though we'll hear it, some or the third thing will go something else. So, how to grab that? Some determination, like we should promise ourselves. But going forward, every take same thing. How to take for every day? Like it's like challenging on every day, right?
yeah, actually, yeah, it's not every day. It's with every beads, every mantra that you are doing. So ideally, I mean, of course, yes. So yeah, it is a constant practice that we just, and as I said, when you do sankalpa, you are actually dedicating it to your beloved lordships, your deities. And then when you sincerely do that, their lordships personally reside in your sankalpa, and they will give you the strength. They will give you the strength. And like based on your sincerity, like Krishna will reciprocate as per our sincerity. But if you have that sincerity, I think, I mean, again, I'm speaking to myself, and again, so I'm also working on it, and I need everyone's blessings. But yeah, that is the.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Mataji's. It was a wonderful session. It was like a condensed version of your realizations from like last 10 years. So it was wonderful to hear from each of you. So maybe one question that all of you can address is, Maharaj talked about how when chanting, we should not let it drift or get it distracted by material thoughts. And also, Shyam Sundar Prabhu was mentioning as soon as we put our hands on in the beat bag, like list of thoughts come into our mind, and then you kind of forget that you're even chanting. That's how I do every day. So maybe if each of you can share one tip on how you try to bring back the mind when so many thoughts come into your mind when chanting, will help me personally.
Yeah, Prabhu, for me personally, when I chant, I'm always sitting in front of the altar. I have Tulsi Maharani and I have the deities. So personally, what I've felt is that sometimes I walk up to them, like really go close to them and then chant one round with, each deity. I'm like chanting Tulsi Maharani, go to Prabhupada. So basically, like every mantra you're chanting on each and every deity. Like, you have deities, Gaur Nita, I have Nitai Sachi Sutta, then I have, small chalagram, then I have Tulsi Maharani, and so I'll just basically go through each mantra to them. So because then when I'm looking at them, offering them that mantra, then my mind comes back. That's just like a practical tip I'm saying. But again, like Prabhu said, always sitting in the same spot, in the same place while chanting, and the routine you follow before that also, like wake up, take a shower, and then sit right there. So it's not like you're just, just woke up from the bed and you're sitting and chanting. Already taken a shower, already, so it's like already taken blessings from everyone before even you start. Do all that, and then you're starting your chanting. So I'm just saying, like, I think practically for me, I just go, like, personally go look at each deity and then chant. So that kind of helps me with my chanting too.
I was going to pass this mic to Vamsidhari Prabhu, but he just walked. So you're saying that when we put our hand in the bead bag, mind goes everywhere. what is something that I do? I'm not sure. I will be honest. One is I resonate with your struggle. If you are sharing your practical challenge, that's a challenge I think I face as well, and I think it is something that we will be facing until we have developed attachment to the japa. So multiple things at multiple times help me. In Burijan Prabhu's Japa book, there are several 9 keys, and the first key is just chant. That's the key. So if my mind, body, everything is completely uncooperative, for some instance, it happens. My prayer and commitment and acting in relationship with Krishna and holy name at that point is to tell the holy name, I'm just chanting. I don't know what else to do, because at some point, at some level, they pick us up beyond our ability to implement techniques. They are the ones to pick us up. So just tell them. I feel like we just have to tell them what our struggles are, and then go back to hearing the japa again. Just pause and tell them I'm struggling, but then go back to again chanting. I feel the relationship is kept open by just communicating our challenges to the holy name, Nama Prabhu, and to our worshipable spiritual master and our worshipable deities. Second thing is investing every at least once a week or maybe every few days in capturing some powerful words from our acharyas about the holy name, about the relationship with holy name. So that it is natural to us to have relationship, but then we are not we're not able to engage in that relationship. It's so unusual to hear of this. So this dichotomy is going to be there, I feel, until we have fully purified. But the dichotomy does not have to stop us. I'm sorry. That's the I guess that's all I can say. Yeah, there are multiple other things. We have to just take different sources of inspiration, but the struggle may remain also. Can I say one last thing? One time, Badahari Prabhu, many of us know Badahari Prabhu. He used to always be part of the Japa retreats for several years. And then Maharaj, His Holiness Rompad Maharaj shared that after 64 round day, this is in Gita Nagari, powerful place. Badahari Prabhu finished 64 rounds. Next day, Maharaj asked him, how was your japa? And then Prabhu said, it was dry. It was dry. Can we even perceive it, what he means? I mean, he's not faking it. At the same time, we know that Maharaj always gives a example of, he's like a gulab jamun. Whichever side you push, there is sweetness of holy name coming, and such a person had said that it is dry. So, but when he sits and does japa and kirtan, we know. So same way, I feel we want to embrace the dryness that we have, but nourish the little relationship that we have developed. We cannot get rid of it, I feel. No matter what the journey is, we'll keep going. Sorry, Prabhu, that's Hare Krishna.
Still have time? Okay. Yeah. So again, I struggle a lot. I don't think that I'm always successful with attention, but that's the struggle, right? That's we are all in the same boat. I personally feel like meditation on the holy name helps me most of the times. Like meditation, as in the meditation, like realizing that, like, this is Krishna himself, and it's not like imagination that Krishna, but it's like like feeling Krishna, trying to, I mean, again, trying, I'm not fair, I not had that, but that helps me whenever I'm struggling, that holy name is actually a person. You are actually, when you are chanting, you're just trying to feel that Krishna's presence there. So, and if that is the, I mean, that's what I do. And then other thing is, like, you can take a pause and think about the glory of the holy name. Like so many, we have a lot of verses, like Kevalashtakam and Madhurashtakam. Yeah. Like, if you just take a little pause and just meditate, again, meditation is the key. Meditate on the importance, the strength of the holy name, and then get back to chanting.
Hare Krishna. So looks like we are 5 minutes behind the schedule. And thank you so much, everyone, for attending again. And thank you again for everybody to share such nice realizations too. Thank you so much. And now we have Lakshmi Priya going to sing Kevalashtakam.